This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce from the Views Express. Come join me Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker.com.
Are you sick of the same old boring talk shows? Looking for more variety? Come check out That Radio Show.
What radio show?
It's That Radio Show. The hottest talk show on the web that lets you, the listener, call in and voice your opinion. For the latest news headlines, controversial subjects, and more, come join us every Friday and Saturday at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central, right here on Spreaker.com.
Talk radio will never be the same.
The United States government is seeking to end our great Constitution. This will endanger all the American people, and we will not stand by and watch while this tyrannical government prepares to rip away all the freedoms that our forefathers granted us. The freedoms that we fought for, bled for, and died for.
Americans are under attack by their own government. We must band together. We must tell our government that we, the people, will not stand by and watch our liberties be taken away. Let the resistance begin.
All right, welcome everyone to The Resistance. I'm Nick Larson, your host, and of course I got with me tonight JJ. How you doing there, JJ?
I am doing well.
That's good. And now on the line with us already is our special guest. They are the creators of the Facebook page We Want Our Freedoms Back. Please welcome to the show Rick and Christine. Welcome to the show, guys.
What's up? Hello, Nick. We're here.
We're here.
All right, welcome to the show. Now tell us a little bit about yourselves and what your page "We Want Our Freedoms Back" is about.
You go first. Well, for me, it was for standing up for our Constitution, our Second Amendment rights, and maintaining our freedom, especially with this globalist society that's popping up around our ears. And part of that, in order for it to come about, is the destruction of our Constitution and our freedoms and our rights. And first and foremost, before any of that can happen, we the people have to be disarmed. And I dang sure want to get that out there for everyone to hear and be aware.
Right, and that's something we're going to be talking about later on in the show about the Second Amendment and threats to it and stuff like that. Now, let me ask you, what made you decide to create the page?
A good friend of ours, what we've got back as admin of our page, started this rant, and we were all sitting around talking on Skype one night and all the bullshit that was going on, and he said, I know y'all got it in you can do it. So we come up with a page, and we wanted the people to stay informed and know what's going on and make friends. And we've made friends since the last time we've been on your show, and it's gotten bigger, and we've gotten stronger, and we're getting out there. We just want the people to know that we're not racist. We're all about equal rights. It's about everybody having equal rights here on Earth.
It's funny that you bring that, racist up because, a lot of, I'll just call them liberals. I know we're trying to get away from the whole labels thing, but gosh darn it. I mean, what do you call them? The gun grabbers or whatever, or, people that support Obama. There you go. The Obama supporters. They find out that you do not support President Obama, and all of a sudden you are labeled a racist just because you don't support him. It has nothing to do with race. I mean, we don't agree with his policies. It has nothing to do with his skin color. I mean, if he was white, we'd have the same problem. I mean, we did. We did have something similar. I mean, it was George W., but
It's the racism and, labeling us, the government's labeling us as terrorists. We want our land. It's ours. We all have the freedom to do, freedom to bear arms, freedom of speech, and all this stuff in the government, and them going over there to the UN. It seems like it's all says we the people is the Constitution, right? And it's more like we the government.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's not fair. And, we strive to get it out there. And, now there's 4 of us on the page. When we started, there was 3. And then we lost our guy due to some drama. And now, we're 4 strong, and we're constantly at it. And we spend a good 14 hours a day going at it all the time. And I've got compliments all the time for, I'm steady at it. I can't, it runs through my blood. I can't get away from it. I go to sleep, I think about it.
Yeah. Now, you say you go to bed just thinking about it. Now, was there ever a time in your life where, oh my God, I can't believe we're actually thinking about this? I mean, that this is actually happening? I mean, who would have thought that something like this would happen in our lifetime?
Oh, yeah. I remember back when I was a kid, it was so much better. It wasn't all this drama, and you never would think about it.
Yeah, exactly. So
it became a nanny state. We all heard it in the news back in the 90s, nanny state, this, that, and the other, and it's morphed from a nanny state into a police state almost, headed towards totalitarian.
Wow. Okay. Well, and I don't know where we're heading, because I can't predict the future. I can only guess what the future can bring from what history has taught us. That's about the best I can do right now. So, but now let's kind of get into the Second Amendment here. I want to read you a story here. Many of you have probably heard about this already, but if you haven't, let me be the first to tell you. This is according to Politico. Senator Dianne Feinstein, the one we all just love, right?
Dirty hooker.
Said on Monday that a controversial assault weapons ban will not be part of a Democratic gun bill that was expected to reach the Senate floor next month. After a meeting with Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, a Democrat from Nevada, on Monday, a frustrated Feinstein said she learned that her bill she sponsored, which bans 157 different models of assault weapons and high-capacity ammunition magazines, would not be part of the Democratic gun bill to be offered on the Senate floor. Instead, it could be offered as an amendment, but its exclusion from the package makes it an already uphill battle, almost certain defeat. So here we go, guys. I mean, this was one of the threats to the Second Amendment. I always say that there's a triple threat to the Second Amendment, and one of them being the Feinstein bill. And obviously yes, it passed committee, but it wasn't even brought to the floor. Now, later on in this article, the Senate Majority Leader, Harry Reid, stated that the reason he didn't include it was because in order for the bill to pass through the Senate, it needs 60 votes. Well, by the best case scenario, he was only able to predict maybe 40. So way under 60. So, not a whole lot of senators or people are actually behind this, as the media lets on.
I don't even think they really let it on in the first place. Even when all this shit started going down after the Connecticut shooting, they even said most of the Democrats wouldn't support a bill of this sorts.
Well, that's good to hear, but like I've heard someone else post, or at least read it anyway, not heard, they called all that a smoke and mirrors act anyway to get your attention off the UN ban, which is the bigger thing.
Right.
And it's a triple threat. That was only one of them. The UN is the big, scary one.
Right, and well, why don't we just go right into it? Then, yeah, the second threat, the UN gun treaty, or the UN small arms treaty, which is being discussed right now at the UN here in the States, and President Obama, stated right after he won the election that he was in full support of signing this treaty. And now, for the most part, the treaty talks, just limits governments from, trading amongst themselves. But there's a provision within that treaty that actually disarms the civilian populace. Is that correct?
From what I understand.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about what you found. Or what you've been reading, because I know you've been doing some research on this.
Well, I did enough to know that from Alex Jones, particular couple other, and I forgot, they said that if it was passed, it was very likely that the UN would claim that their treaty superseded our Constitution, and Obama's most likely going to support it and give some kind of executive order for troops and police to be doing a door-to-door gun confiscation. And if the troops and police won't do it, that UN troops are going to be showing up and be doing the gun confiscation, which is probably the biggest and most likely scenario.
And that's like we've watched and looked and all these freaking UN vehicles and all this bullshit that's in the ports over here. If you do
do a YouTube search on UN vehicles, and
hundreds and thousands of vans and tanks and.
Okay, now let me just stop you right there. Now you said where you're from. Now, where exactly? State-wise, are you from?
We're in Oregon.
You're in Oregon. Okay, just so we can kind of give our listeners a little, landmarks on where we're seeing these things at. But you're saying you've seen tanks and armored troop vehicles and such of the UN?
There's plenty of videos on it on YouTube. Military hardware vehicles, UN vehicles being transported by rail. I'll post a link on our page of one of the videos we have of someone using Google Earth and just zooming in on hundreds of UN vehicles parked on old airstrips that are just in waiting to be used.
Okay.
For UN troops to be called up and them driving around doing whatever they're going to be doing. Hundreds.
Jeez.
And all these militaries and vehicles that's been seen in town. We've went out one day to take a load of scrap metal and seen a military vehicle riding through. And I've been here since September and have not seen any military here in where we're at. And now you're starting to see them. You're starting to see weird things going on. Trains pulling hundreds of tanks and military fuel vehicles. And, what's going on, really? All this ammo buy that the government's doing.
Yeah, and them buying several billion rounds of it, and it was hollow point, no less.
Right. Well, yeah, we'll get...
It's banned under the Geneva Convention. You cannot use hollow points in war because it creates a larger exit wound. And under Geneva Convention, you're only supposed to use full metal jacket. That's kind of messed up for them to buy a billion plus rounds of hollow point because they're obviously planning on using them on civilians. Well, civilians aren't military personnel. Therefore, the Geneva Convention doesn't apply and they can buy whatever the hell they want. That's where that's at.
Okay, now, just before we get too far into this here, I wanted to say hello to everyone in the chat room. We got Rick from Taking Back America. We got Bronco Drew. They're in the chat right now. Now, there's a question here that Drew had posted. He asks, have you all seen the urban combat drills in Miami and Houston with the Army?
No.
I have not saw that, but if anyone's got that, I would appreciate them links being posted on our page wall because I would surely take a look at them.
Well, and he continues and